Ladies and gentlemen, herewith the 1659 Visionary Leadership Award category. The person or institution who receives recognition in the 1659 Visionary Leadership Award category should have made an essential contribution towards the industry, of which there must be substantial evidence. The industry, or a specific aspect thereof, must have been positively influenced by it and must have had a lasting impact, with all indications of a special legacy. It must be worthy of praise and significantly change people's thinking and lives. There must be clear indications of intellectual conceptualization of the idea, which must be creative, innovative, and unique, and has already been proven in practice. It should encourage and inspire others in the industry to do the same or even better. The award goes to Tim Hutchinson.
Good evening, everyone. I'm very flattered to receive this award. It's fantastic recognition. And especially the fact that it is recognition from my peers makes it very, very special. I see Jacques Roux here this evening. Jacques and me worked together on the brands and the marketing front for 25, 28 years.
And I think the most amazing thing about him was his ability to sort of see gaps and opportunities.
He brought an incredible energy to sales.
Yeah.
In those days, in the early 80s, there wasn't that much competition for wine. He gave sales a wine sales structure, and I think he had that energy to kind of pull teams together and motivate the youngsters and people out on the road to sell with a purpose.
People often ask me, why are you so driven? You're even obsessed with making this business successful. And I go back to the early days when we merged Douglas Green and Union Wine. The CEO of SFW at the time, Ronnie Melk, heard about this merger and said, two cripples in one wheelchair. And that has been a motto that's stuck in my mind from that day. I've been obsessed that, yes, we had a little business. We didn't have a winery. The Douglas Green wines were made at the KWP. But I was going to make this business a major player in the wine industry.
But I want to talk about the premiumization again on something like Boschendal, which DGB bought in 2010. And at that time, he said, Boschendal is a bit like a beauty queen of 20 or 30 years ago. She's lost her looks. We got to fix that. You got to make her a pretty woman again.
He's grown Boschendal so that it's no longer just where the brand home is, but it has vineyards all over the Western Cape, giving it the premium fruit that it needs to become the premium product that it is.
I mean, she looks beautiful. She's an absolute gem of the wine lands, and certainly something that the whole of South Africa can be very proud of.
He developed brands like the Old Road Wine Company. He has also more recently added Batberg to the portfolio. So throughout this, there's a kind of trader as well as a brand visionary.
We merged Union Wine and Douglas Green of Paarl. We struggled to get the business profitable. We made losses for a while. Those were tough times. And to those people that were in the trenches when we were building the foundations of this business, a huge thank you.
But Tim was different in a sense that he always had vision. He was a strategist. He enjoyed the business of wine.
We work in an amazing industry. If you think about it, every social event, a wedding, a braai on a Sunday, dinner with friends, wine is part of the social fabric. I mean, if I'd worked in Unilever or Nestle or one of these multinationals, even SAB, Would I have had the same fun? The answer is no.
Tim exemplifies the commitment to family through his unbroken and impeccable service rendition of 37 years to DGB, by demonstrating the attributes of visionary leadership, collegiate teaming, utmost integrity, boundless creativity, fair play, whilst boldly building the business and in so doing the wine industry.
To the DGB team, I've been in the company 35 years. We have an amazing team of people.
I speak for the entire DGB team, which many would call family, many that have dedicated a near lifetime, that it is a continuing privilege, a part of this company, with its unique culture, which imbues passion, performance, and possibility.
Your profound insights into both the consumer and the industry have really driven DGB to new heights.
I think one of the great qualities of good leaders in the wine industry are people that work on relationships. And I would say Tim ticks all the boxes with regard to that. He's fostered relationships both nationally and internationally, not only in the wine business, also in the spirits business.
I wanted our business to be globally competitive. It isn't just about competing with your local competitors. But, Carmen asked me about our obsession with accreditations. It's quite simple. I wanted to have the best quality control accreditations possible, the best environment, the best sustainability accreditations, that we could hold our head up high globally. In that area, we lead the South African industry.
And more importantly, also I think also crossing the boundaries, going over to sport, supporting sport, and all in all, it's just a true South African that has showed amazing qualities.
His support for Brand South Africa, by way of his support for South African sport, is an indicator of exactly how passionate he is about things more broadly than just the business spectrum.
But I think you learn from the Springbok rugby team. There we are. We think outside the box. We're leading the world in strategy and technique, and the wine business should be no different.
You completed 3 decades of service in the industry. And as one of our esteemed friends of sport, we are gratified and privileged to have your support to our efforts and activities since 1992 for the National Olympic Committee of South Africa and 1994 for South African Rugby Union.
He's one of those people who can walk with kings, but can also tell you straight up that he was once upon a time a brickie. You can't get a greater versatility than that.
You've given a future and hope to the kids in this country. I know you traveled domestically and internationally to look for funding, and you got it right. And my personal favorite, the Johannesburg Children's Home, which last year we celebrated 30 years of partnership with DGB.
I would like to thank Mr. Tim Hutchinson for granting us an opportunity to get education from DGB, which he extended by introducing the DGB bursary schemes, which benefited the employees' kids.
Hi, Uncle Tim. Would like to thank you on behalf of the Johannesburg Children's Home for making sure that our dreams are secured and our wishes are fulfilled. Thank you, Uncle Tim. God bless you. And I wish I could give you a big hug.
God bless you, and thank you very much for everything you've done.
I know no one in this whole South African wine industry, of which I've been part of for the last 40 years, that is more deserving of this award.
I wish you many years of success. Thank you for your friendship and your unselfish support.
Man, congratulations. What a beacon, what a kind of inspiration you've been to so many of us, to the whole industry. Your missives during the dark periods, your visions during, just when business is good, and how well you've done and how great the focus has been. What an incredible company you've built up.
So cheers to Tim, the paterfamilias and bold builder of DGB, and the role model extraordinaire of the South African wine industry.
Let's drink a toast to a man that we've spent quality time with, and somebody who I think deserves huge accolades, and we pay tribute to a great man.
Tim, we all salute you for your contribution to our wine industry.
In closing, let me say, let's toast the South African industry. Let's toast everyone that works in it. I mean, we are the one consumer goods brand, and I wish the government understood this, that can go to the four corners of the earth. Our Boschendal wines are in 72 countries. The brand that travels the world is wine, and our responsibility is to build this industry, to create more employment, and to hold our heads up high as a South African. So enjoy the evening, and here's to the wine industry. Thank you.
The person or institution who receives recognition in the growing inclusivity category should be a recipient who has set an inspirational example by paving the way for others through the elimination of barriers, contributing to the knowledge that others can use, and having an overall effect on the image of the South African wine industry. And the award goes to Ilse Rutherford.
Ilse Rutherford has 27 years' experience in the wine industry, touching every aspect of building a wine business into a thriving entity. She was promoted to the position of Managing Director of Companiesdrift in 2012.
Companiesdrift het sy deure oopgemaak op 1 Desember 2010. Ons is hoofsaaklik 'n wynstoorfasiliteit. Ons het begin met 5 kliënte en vandag kan ek met trots sê dat ons 85 kliënte oor die Weskaap maak vandag van ons dienste gebruik. Van ons kliënte etiketeer ook by ons en dan verpak ons ook bestellings vir lokaal en vir uitvoerverspreiding.
Under the leadership of Rutherford, the company grew from strength to strength and started its own range of wines in 2015.
Ek is eintlik hoofsaaklik daar betrokke om die wyn in markte te vestig. Ons is daarom nou gelys in 2 groot winkels in Suid-Afrika en ons volgende fokus is om in uitvoermark onsself te vestig.
With her passion for empowering emerging generations of farmers and winemakers, Rutherford is a mentor to multitudes of young people.
In 2014 het ek 'n nasionale toekenning gewen deur Departement Landbou vir vroue entrepreneurs. En ek het besluit met die wengeld dat ons graag iets wil doen vir die gemeenskap, vir die mense wat op die plaas woon. Ek het besluit om 'n groentetuin te bewerkstellig. Dit was maar regtig op baie klein skaal. En ons het ook besef dat ek kan nie eintlik as jy nie groot skaal groente verkoop nie, is dit nie eintlik winsgewend nie en daarom het ons besluit om die produkte wat ons het in te maak.
Ilse Rutherford is an inspirational example to her peers through the elimination of barriers.
So ons poog om vir mense op die plaas, op Meerlus en kompanies ter groot geword het, 'n geleentheid te gee om hulself te verbeter. So ek kan met trots sê dat Companiesdrift is eintlik 'n vroue maatskappy. Ons is onafhanklik, ons verdien ons eie geld en dit is so lekker vir hulle om hier te wees. Hulle wil opstaan, hulle wil hier wees want hulle beteken iets vir Companiesdrift.
The person or institution who receives recognition in the wine advancement category should have made noticeable contributions towards the image of wine and the responsible use of it, as well as building the image of the South African wine industry through their reach. And the award goes to Kathy Marston.
Kathy Marston is the founder and head lecturer at the prestigious International Wine Education Centre in Cape Town. Established in 2011, the IWEC has taught students from over 60 countries.
We are the largest provider in Africa and the Middle East of the Wine and Spirit Education Trust courses, the WSET. Now, that was set up about 50 years ago. And when we started teaching them here, South Africa was the only top 10 wine country that wasn't actually teaching WSET. Everybody else does. They are the biggest wine and spirit educational authority by far.
Marston has successfully broadened the scope of the IWEC's reach as a WSET educator, wine taster and judge. Marston's knowledge and discerning palate have been recognized by renowned institutions. She is currently completing the Master of Wine qualification, further deepening her knowledge and understanding of the intricacies of wine.
One of the biggest changes that we've seen since we've been teaching these courses over the last 12 years is that there is a marked increase in South African content at every single level of those courses. And that to me is very, very important. So that means that you've got several hundred people all around the world at the very, very highest level of all kinds of wine business, focusing on South Africa, on South Africa's terroir, our climate, our grapes, our soils, our businesses, everything. And that's going to be some great fallout. That's going to work very well for us in the long term. Last year, we had students via our business, so doing exams, WSET exams via us. We had students in 29 different countries sit courses and take exams with us. So that's South Africans who have gone out and gone on the cruise ships, or they're working in Dubai in hotels. It's people from other African countries coming here and then going off. And that's just spreading the message around the world, which is a fantastic thing to happen.
Her expertise is highly sought after in various tasting and judging roles, and she has also contributed significantly to wine journalism, sharing her knowledge and passion with a broader audience. Her invaluable contributions to the wine industry continue to elevate the appreciation and understanding of South African wine locally and internationally.
The person or institution who receives recognition in the vita or viniculture category should have developed new ideas, technologies and methods within the winemaking industry, implementing and transferring these ideas and methodologies, changing mindsets and ultimately benefit the South African wine industry overall. The award goes to David Simon.
David Simon has dedicated over 50 years of his career to the grapevine and wine industries. He has made significant contributions through groundbreaking research, teaching, and mentoring. shaping the minds of future researchers, extension officers, farmers, and winemakers. His dedication to expanding his knowledge led him to undertake advanced courses in viticulture in Europe.
Ek kon in Frankryk 'n jaar spandeer. Wat mens toegerus het om uiteindelike bydrae met internasionale gehalte in die boek te kon staan maak. Van die deure het vir jou oopgegaan oor wat in Europa gebeur, wingerdboukundig, wynkundig. En ons het nie baie toegang daartoe gehad nie. Ons was maar verlaat op Amerikaanse en Australiese literatuur.
As a prominent researcher and mentor, he played a vital role in identifying and understanding geology, soil types, and climate in the South African Wine of Origin scheme, empowering winemakers to create wines that showcase the natural factors of their specific regions.
Maar nou, ek dink jy kry meer 'n Suid-Afrikaanse wyn wat sleg is. Jy kan van hou nie, maar hulle is almal op baie hoë standaard en ons staan nie oomblik terug vir enige Franse wyn.
He is on the demarcation committee of the Wine and Spirits Board since 1973, as the longest living active member of this important committee.
En van die begin was ek lid van die komitee wat areas wat aansoek doen vir registrasie moet gaan ondersoek, afmaken, beskryf ensovoorts. 1973. Ek is al 50 jaar op die komitee. Dit moet 'n soort rekord wees.
Simon bridged the knowledge gap between researchers, producers, and winemakers, enabling a harmonious connection that fosters innovation and growth. His contributions extend far beyond the South African wine industry, and its expertise has been recognized internationally. With his scientific research garnering significant citations and reads, David Simon's expertise and passion have inspired countless individuals and contributed to the industry's continued success.
Al die tegniese aspekte van wingerdbou, verbouing, dink ek het ons mooi uitgeklaar en opskrif gekry.